or my life. And I know most of you will have no empathy or understanding. I want to give someone like me a chance to redeem themselves or, accept my apology. And that's okay. I did lose my job there. And at my own choice, I'll never step foot in a daycare again.
This woman was one of the daycare workers down at that, preschool daycare in Mississippi that put on the Scream mask from the movie Scream and was jumping in little kids' faces, toddlers to 4-year-olds, faces, because they were ill behaved and they weren't acting right. So this was her solution. Now, since she's been fired, we talked about it last week, as I mentioned. And also, she's apparently catching hell online, since obviously everyone knows who she is now. This was a little piece of what happened, in case you guys didn't see it. Trauma on top of trauma. Again, it was at Little Blessings Child Care Center there. And the owner pointed out she didn't know about this, which also this particular worker that did get fired pointed out that it was her idea, their idea, and it had nothing to do with the owners, because that was a bit of the confusion back and forth. But she did continue on because she apologized for 19 minutes straight. She was very upset and sad about it. Let's watch more of what she was saying.
I bought those masks from Dollar General. My coworker, she's very easy to scare. So I had this plan, which she already knew about, but long story short, I bought the mask to scare her eventually, and they were used inappropriately. The teachers asked me if I would do it or if they could use it to get their class to listen or to clean up, whatever it was at the time. I'm gonna say clean up and not listening. The 2-year-old room was not cleaning up and the 3-year-old room was not listening, which is, that's every day, they're children.
So more of an explanation. Let's jump down to some of these graphics, you guys, because they're pointing out the reasons why she did it. And now she's in all this trouble. She did get fired. She also has been working there for 4 years, since she was 16 years old. Again, I'm gonna see what your thoughts are first before I tell you some of mine, because I could be totally wrong. I'm willing to accept that. But I do want to point out one other part, because she said this graphic to you guys. She got the idea also how kids were also frightened by other things, and it was kind of humorous before. So I guess it was slightly fun and slightly also trying to get them to clean up. Let's go to graphic 2. She goes, I do want to say an example. I know it seems the way it does, but it doesn't have to be that way. She also explained, she just said, so like, I remember last Christmas, there were these kids taking Christmas pictures and they would have the Grinch hiding in the bush over there, and it would come out, scare the kids, and they would run. And people thought it was funny. Essentially, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. And this is where I started feeling really bad for Cece here. Last thing, Jess. Because there will be consequences, but it's not our place. This is what the daycare was talking about, but also how she's been catching all this hell online. There will be consequences, but it's not our place to judge anyone or even make someone feel so alone and down. That's what one of the parents there wrote on Facebook. It isn't right. I don't wish Cece no bad on her. It was wrong, yes. I'm not saying it's not, and she knows that it is. And is what she's saying and what she is trying to get through to everyone is that she is truly sorry. So apparently she's catching it, and that's where I feel bad. She's like 20 years old. She doesn't know what she's doing. I don't know how much training she's had with childhood development, but she's screwed up several kids' brains for a significant amount of time and has no idea how this whole thing works. This is where I think maybe the disagreement possibly could have come was she's fired. Maybe these kids can get some help, but also let's stop with the death threats, you guys. Let's stop with the bombarding someone who did something obviously wrong, which is also what that parent said in that Facebook post. Obviously did something wrong, realizes it now, shouldn't work in another daycare center again, shouldn't work around children again because she doesn't have it. Hey, bro, if I'm not good at making like, fancy dishes, I shouldn't work in a fancy kitchen at a restaurant cooking. I don't know what I'm doing. I can cook up some random stuff at home, but it's just not my field. It's okay. You messed up, you're out of it. Hopefully these kids get some help because you kind of screwed them up. But let's stop with death threats of this 20-year-old girl who she did some horrible things. Let's keep it real. But I don't think the response has to be that. That's just odd to me that we go straight to anonymous death threats. What is that gonna do? The kids better because of that too? It's like negative added on to negative. I hope she gets to escape all that.